Heads up a bit, I'm a bit ADHD. Yeah, so pull me back. Or I answer something, I will forget. I will forget what is your question, then please help me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, no, thanks for. Okay. Hey everyone, before we begin this next episode of the Hello Mentor podcast, I just want to say if you're job searching or hiring, check out hiredly.com. We are not just another job platform, we make it easier to find the jobs that people actually want, and we help companies stand out to hire the right talent. So there's a lot of smart tech and there's a lot of human touch. That's Hiredly. So you can head to hiredly.com and give it a go. Hello, everyone. It's another episode of the Hello Mentor podcast, and we have Eddie Tan here with us today from Cake Tella. Hello, Eddie.
Hi.
Hi, Eddie. Would you like to introduce yourself to the audience, some of them who may not be familiar with who you are?
Hi guys, I'm Eddie Tan. I'm 37, not single and not available. I just kidding. Anyway, my name is Eddie. I make cakes for a living. If you recognize my face, probably you see me from Cake Tella, which is known for alcoholic cakes. But we have another brand called Keto Cakes as well. Yeah, we just launched about 3 years ago because my grandparents, they are diabetic.
Oh.
Yeah, and then actually we've been doing business for 14 years.
Right.
Started from home. So our main business was actually we supply cakes to cafes. Yeah, until MCO, then we pivot online and so on.
That's how it started. So Cake Tella was selling like alcoholic cakes to cafes.
No, we actually supply a lot of non-alcohol cakes, especially crepe cakes. Crepe cakes, it's like 40% of our B2B cake supplies. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. And then I'm very curious about how this whole journey first started. Because when you were studying your background, did you study to be a chef?
Yeah, I studied culinary. Yeah, but then back then it wasn't a glamorous career. It's like a Chinese you say that you either 懒惰, 吸烟, yam zao. Yeah, you become chef, you definitely do one of these three.
There's a stigma around.
There's a stigma.
Chef, right?
It's for not smart, and fortunately, I was really like not the smart student. Even I got an older brother and sister. They are very smart, top straight A. Another one like 5 A's, but a bit lazy, but can get 5 A's. But I always get top 2 in class from the back. I always compare not to get last. So yeah, unfortunately my result wasn't good, and my parents gave me the freedom to go study culinary. And yeah, then finally when I get to focus on things that I love, I became a top student.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So because academically you were not very strong, so your parents just let you do like study what you want or something like that. Is that
I would say that I won't say I was not strong, but I just find school so boring. It's like you won't be using MATs.
right?
It doesn't make sense.
Right. No, like guys, I was very bad in school actually. Me myself So and it's largely driven by like lack of interest though. So it's very difficult to absorb what they're teaching, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so because of that, your parents say, okay, you go study.
Correct, yeah. In fact, my mom always joke, like, okay, I send you to culinary school because I want you to become a lecturer. Just have a easy 8 to 5 job. It's easier, no need so stressed. And now I came to do business.
I see. Yeah, I see. So number one, I guess it turned out to be a blessing in disguise, in a way.
Yeah.
Culinary. But how did you know that you wanted to do culinary then? Were you like really cooking and all that?
So I think whenever long story short, my dad is a foodie. So if you go to Klang below the bridge, there's a famous bak kut teh there. Normal people won't know. Back then there's no KL foodie. However, my father would bring us go makan. So he's like a hardcore foodie. And then my mom just loves to bake and cook. So every evening she will cook. On the weekend she'll go for class, buy the bread machine, and make bread. I still remember she also made donut. She let us fry it, then coat a lot of cinnamon sugar. Then kids up as much sugar as you can, then eat. So I think those were my core memories. So I have this epiphany towards not epiphany. I just have something for food. Like it's something like my mom taught me cooking is love. My dad, we are not from a rich family. We are quite okay, but my parents always buff us and like we got no money. I just grown up, we can go holiday every year, but my parents keep telling me we got no money. So I always grown up like, oh, actually we are not rich. We're not well to do. So every time my dad used the hard-earned money to eat, like for example, TGIF or Italianese just opened back then, like 15 years ago or 20 years ago, that was the hype. So my dad will bring us go, and if the food not nice, I'll get so angry. I say, damn, this is my dad's hard-earned money, So anytime I produce food now, I always want to make sure it's the best I can give. It's up to standard because everyone is spending their hard-earned money to buy the cakes. So I somehow, I don't know why I built up that formula in my head.
Oh, interesting. Right. And then you went and you went learn culinary. And then what happened after that? After you completed, what is this? Is it like a certification, diploma? Or
Yeah, so that time they just launched like culinary arts. But then people don't know what's the term called culinary or culinary lah. So I just tell people I learned how to cook.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like a hotel management kind of thing. Yeah, so but the irony thing, I was actually a chef. I know how to cook. I'm known for cooking. I represent school to go for competition, Montview awards just by cooking. I don't know how to bake. Yeah, and then now I'm a baker.
So you started as being good at cooking.
Yeah.
And then what eventually made you go into baking?
I got no idea. I made a lot of breads, but I never bake. I never really bake much.
Right.
Yeah. Just that the reason I started baking is because a long story short, when I graduated, I wanted to open my own restaurants or cafe. I think back then only cost about 200K at most. I think now it will cost about 5 to 600K. So back then parents no money. So then I want to start my own business. So I was thinking to do like a burger shop on the roadside, selling pork burger. So I start, because hot cooking is my forte ma. Yeah, so then I start to R&D buy the machine. I mean, like attachment, the meat grinder, all those things, start R&Ding. Then I believe in universe, law of attraction. Suddenly one day my sister bought a cheesecake from a home baker, auntie. She said, wow, this lychee cheesecake, the auntie reply very slow. When I go pick up, wow, a lot of people queuing. Her business must be damn good. So when I ate the cake, right, then my parents spent 80K for me to study. So auntie that whole school, so that this is so horrible. I'm not saying that she's not good. It's just that as a trained culinary student, this is not up to standard at all. So then I was like, wow, damn, if this auntie sell cake not nice, so good business, maybe I sell, I'll become rich. Yeah, that's just. So the first question come out is like, okay, Eddie, you know how to cook, you don't know how to bake. How? Yeah, so then I went to like a bakery shop. I just started at 1,200. My salary was 1,200 a month. Yeah, then I just worked my ass off. Tell them, okay, I don't know how to cook and I don't know how to bake, but I can cook. I can work really, really hard. Yeah, so from there I slowly learned.
Well, what a big bet. So you kind of you figured out that you want to try to do baking, and the best way to try to do baking is to get a job.
And to hands-on, yeah. It's like even you go college, you don't get to practice much. Like I love, I finished my diploma. I didn't get to join the school competition. So I was from I was from Taylor's during my diploma. So I got quite frustrated because I work so hard, but I don't get to, young and naive, very impulsive. So I like, damn you school, I hate you. So let's jump to another school, KDU. And again, law of attraction. So when I go KDU, I was just so lucky. Within 2 weeks, they just selected me for culinary, to be part of the competition team. Yeah, because I think one of the German lecturers saw this fire in me. Then they throw me here, then so somehow I don't know, sometimes I think if I didn't leave Taylor's, if I didn't leave Taylor's and go to KDU, then it wouldn't happen. And so that time, all the KDU lecturers were Darren Teo, Dewakan, 2-star Michelin, Raymond Tam, which is now Skillet or Beta, is 1-star Michelin. Yeah, so it was Songam, they were my lecturers.
Oh, wow.
So I pick up a lot of their DNA, which they are very Japanese perfection and everything. So I pick up a lot of their DNA.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Also, they were your lecturers.
They were my lecturers. Yeah. In fact, there were other lecturers also. They were all very gung-ho. So me as a student, it was so stressful. Yeah, it's like you put into a pressure cooker. It's so stressful. You're just a student, right? But they treat you like a hardcore, military, kind of thing. Right. Yeah. But back then, I didn't really enjoy it. Now I really enjoy it. I appreciate it a lot. Then even during my internship, I worked for Darren Chin. In fact, the longest career I have was with Darren Chin, 8 months, which is a DC Restaurant, 1-star Michelin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So somehow I pick out a lot of their DNA, that the mindset of Japanese, very take a lot of pride in your product, always want to improve yourself, challenge yourself, set a high standard.
Right. Interesting. I read somewhere that you actually flew to Singapore. You got a job there or something.
Correct.
But you turned it down with Marina Bay Sands.
So yeah, that time Marina Bay Sands just opened. So all the famous international chef opened over there. So like Wolfgang Park, Tetsuya. Those are the old school OGs. Right. So everyone just opened there. Then then I just went there for a walk. So there is quite interesting. You walk in interview. You don't need to make interview, just walk in. So I walked in with my CVs of a few competition, top student. So basically, I think what they want me is I will start from zero. So they just need someone who's hardcore, who can take a lot of stress. So my CV, my student CV already proved that I fit the job.
Right.
Yeah. But then somehow when I gotten the job offer straight in one of the famous restaurant, I think again I that was my first time listening to my inner voice. So I heard a voice like, "You're so tired." Nah, just kidding. Not much. I heard a voice saying to myself, "If you don't work hard, why don't you work hard for yourself and build something for yourself?" I'm not sure you ever had that experience. Then every day you wake up, the voice just keep bothering you. Like I think a lot of us, let's say when you're working, I should resign, but maybe I should not. Then every morning you wake up, you keep hearing that voice, I should resign. So it is that kind of feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you kind of just felt like it was a intuition that you shouldn't take up that.
Correct.
Right,
So then I didn't.
Wow.
In fact, even one of my lecturer, Darren Teo, the Devakan to some extent, he got me a job offer to do a stage internship in Chicago, one of the world top 10 restaurant. I said, no thanks, I want to start my own business. Yeah, back then I think that, oh damn, this is like the golden opportunity, right? But yeah, now I think back, it's okay. Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's just, I imagine if I'm from that world, it seems like it's so amazing to get that opportunity.
Yeah, it's like getting to go to Silicon Valley to work for all the tech startups. It's so cool. I mean, it sucks to work there. Right. It's going to be hell, but the experience is just so valuable.
Right. But at the time, you're already very clear-minded that you want to start your own business.
Don't know, just a gut feel. Gut feel just correct.
Right. And then you start working for bakery for a low salary.
Correct.
So you can learn baking.
Correct, yeah.
Right. And then how long were you doing that until you figured out, okay, I can start something like...
So I think I could now play around. So basically I went for work. I mean, if it's a popular bakery, they won't take me. They got so many bakery candidates, right? So I went to work for these small shops in this mall called Tropicana City Mall, which is now known as 3 Damansara, below the escalator. So the boss told me that, it's an open kitchen kind of bakery in a shopping mall. So asked me to do customer service also. So end up, I do more customer service than I bake. Yeah, so I resigned eventually after 6 months. But I think I really appreciate the experience because I realized running a bakery, baking is an important skill set, but you need to know how to deal with customers.
Right.
So I'm sure like if you work part-time as a barista or dealing with customer, there's a lot of ad hoc situation you need to react to.
Right.
Yeah, so that actually builds up a lot of my like sales skill. Like, okay, you buy this, auntie buy that one very nice. Auntie, this one very fresh. Buy two, got promotion. So a lot of upselling skill and then last minute troubleshooting. Yeah, so back then I hated my boss, for not letting me bake. But now when I start doing business, I'm like, oh, thank you so much for teaching me this valuable skill.
Oh, right. Okay. Is that what's someone who's been cooking before you started baking, cooking a lot, then shifted to baking? What's the main difference between cooking and baking?
So okay, cooking very gut feel, like at home masak, 1 pinch of salt, 2 pinch of salt, no need to measure. Not so technical, but baking you had to pre-weigh everything, and it's a very technical step by step. Like okay, your curry if it's too sweet, you can add more cream, you can dilute it, you can salt it later on. But for baking you can't. It's all ahead. But then I think a bit of context wise also, as a student, I have no interest. I mean, secondary school, I hated school. It's so boring. I play game every day. I mean, play Ragnarok, Dota 2, those were the Counter-Strike, go to cyber cafe. Those were our days. I think we're getting old. Yeah, if you don't understand cyber cafe, probably you're just too young or we are old. So I think what happened is I spent a lot of time in the library during college time. I read a lot of encyclopedia. Back then, it's very hard to get science book about baking or cooking. There were not much. If you want to got a so thick encyclopedia, right now you got AI. It's so easy for them to explain the science point of view. So for me, how I view cooking and baking is from a very scientific point of view. If it makes sense, if the logic makes sense, you can change the ingredient. So that's how we came up with Keto Cakes. Yeah, it has to come from a very scientific point of view.
I see. Yeah. Right. And when you first started Cake Tella, like how do you decide on the concept and all that?
Okay, so I did a lot of French hot cooking. It's very common to pour alcohol into their sauce, the red wine sauce. They flambe the dessert, or even put in your soup. So for me, like, hey, why not just put into your dessert? In fact, for French, it's quite common to put alcohol into dessert. Just that somehow Malaysian is just not well known. In fact, I think there were people doing. In fact, the bakery I work at. Wow, this is my first time sharing. In fact, the bakery that called me to do customer service, they were selling alcohol cakes, but it was very low quality one. Right. So actually, it wasn't my original idea. It was just I just took a more professional, refined step using higher quality ingredients.
Right.
Yeah.
Just kind of took it to like you're gonna specialize in it.
Right. But I think whoever made it famous become the pioneer. Like Flappy Birds. Flappy Bird, they say it was actually another game. The guy just stole the whole concept, but people know him as Flappy Bird. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not the original owner or founder.
But you decided to double down on it, I suppose.
I didn't double down. So I think, okay, just cut back the story. So when I worked for a bakery, I think I worked for 2 different jobs. Another job do crepe cakes. I think it's called Food Foundry for Section 17. They were damn famous. Now I think it's called Fika Coffee. It was under their F&B group back then. So their crepe cake was really good. And then after that, I went to work for 8 months for Darren Chin. I did my internship. I worked for 3 months before that in his restaurant. And then when he came back, wanted to open a DC restaurant, but he had to settle down his family business group, Dave's Daily Group first. So he asked me, hey, Eddie, come join me. I want to open this fine dining. Then I was like, oh yeah, if you open a fine dining restaurant, I get to be your right hand. I can see how you talk to the contractor, how you draw the layout. I get to learn a lot. But then, so I went back to hot cooking in his central kitchen. And unfortunately, his plan got delayed like 4 or 5 years later on. So, but before that, he was a very nice guy. So I remember he introduced me to my first customer, Tap Boy Bakery. Back then, they opened in Bangsa. They never make their own cakes. Right now, they have their own CK. So I remember Patrina, the owner, tell me, hey boy, what cake can you make? I said, oh, I can make crepe cake and alcohol cake. What do you want? Then she told me, oh, I don't want alcohol cake because I want to target Muslims, so I want to be more Muslim friendly. Then I was like, oh no, but I don't want. I want to do alcohol cake. I don't want to do crepe cake. So I remember she told me, okay, how many? One cake is $70, right? So I want 3 crepe cake. I remember she gave me 210. Said I don't care. 3 days later, you give me 3 crepe cakes. Yeah. So then I made for her. Then what I learned was, I think a lot of us as artists in various industry, we always have this artist mindset. I do what I want, not what you want. So what I learned from her is, it's business. You do what people want, not what you want.
Right.
So that was my first customer. Then again, law of attraction or whatever, universe or manifestation. Darren Chin wasn't in his central kitchen that day. Indian guy knocked on the door. Hey, that time we do a lot of pies for Dave's Daily Group. So, I'm looking for a chicken pie. So I told him around, settled everything for him. Then he said, hey, Eddie, do you know anyone that make cakes? Then that time I got this very noob kind of very beginner looking name card. I still use Microsoft Paint to create it. Then I gave him out. That's my second customer. Yeah.
Oh,
so when I start supplying to 2 customers, I work 3 jobs. Monday to Friday, I work in the central kitchen, 8 to 6. Sometimes weekend I had to step into the restaurant on night time. Then on the weekends, if you see a Lang Zai cooking in a supermarket or a demo for Panasonic and so on, that was me. Because that kind of demo or cooking can bring me like one class I do 300 ringgit. If Panasonic, my record was one day I get 1,002. That's a lot of money. My salary back then was only like 2,000. So it's quite a lot of money. Then on the night time or on my free time, I would run my own business. Because back then I wasn't very good in making cakes. So supplying to cafe all by myself I wasn't very fast. And then there was a lot of R&D. Yeah, so back then I struggled with 3 jobs. So my ex-girlfriend, which is my wife right now, ex-ma, upgrade already, become wife. I think we only spend time like every Saturday night. Yeah, one dinner, nighttime, that's about it. Yeah. Right. The rest is just hustle.
Wow, 3 jobs at the same time.
Correct. So then it was, I think because I didn't have the capital, and I was very fortunate my mom or my dad let me use the kitchen. So what happened again, this is where I heard my second inner voice. One day I was washing in the central kitchen, I was washing like a big tong. So hey, this voice come in, if you don't start now, you will miss out something. Then I was like, okay, what is this voice again? And same thing, every night, sleep, wake up, you feel something's not right. I need to listen to the voice. Yeah, so then I quit. Then gave up like this opportunity to be Darren Chin right hand to see how he built his Michelin-Star restaurant, which is now 1-star Michelin. Long story short, I stopped. I quit the job. So I only do my own business. That time I only 2 cafes, and I do a lot of cooking jobs. I teach kids how to bake cakes because I think teaching kids how to bake cakes is the best. They don't know what is a good cake. It's just so I know they have fun. They don't hurt themselves during the whole process. Right. I'm just kidding, but and then from there I was very lucky. Suddenly that voice, right? If you miss out something, that something was the cafe wave. The artisanal cafe wave. So back then, all the artisanal cafe pride themselves in making their own coffee, making their own food, making their own cakes. So when they became so busy, the first thing they let go was the cakes. Then I was the guy dropping sample, giving name card. Hey, I'm Eddie. I never even give a prices. I mean, I don't know how to do business. I just go there, drop them a lot of sample. I'm Eddie. Try out my cakes. If you don't like, I can customize for you and so on. So from there, 1 cafe, 2 cafe, 8 cafe, 10 cafes, slowly pick up.
Oh, okay. So in a way, like you sort of caught that wave, and then
I was fortunate to caught the wave, but the wave came 2 months after I resigned.
I see. Yeah, right. Sometimes when starting businesses, I notice a lot of it's about like luck and timing.
Correct, it's luck. Yeah,
right? Like timing, right? Like so happen. I mean, you're obviously capable, but the market is also
correct
in this direction, right?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So that's and then and all the way to, I know when the lockdowns hit and all that, suddenly all the cafes kind of like obviously cannot operate, right? So physically cannot operate. Then how did that affect you?
Okay, so from 2 cafes to I don't know how many cafes, but I basically operate from home, which is actually illegal. But so what I learned was MCO, MPPJ threw us out. Because I didn't know it's illegal, right? I thought everyone does it. So apparently the rule is if your neighbor complain multiple times, then it becomes illegal.
I see.
Yeah, then they have 3 out. So I was watching my parents let me took over the dining room, the computer room, and then I kicked them out from the house. Right. No, they moved out. It's an old house, so they moved out, got a new house. So they allow me to use the whole ground floor. So I used to stay upstairs. Downstairs is where we work. And then we hire a few teams. Right. Yeah. So I think up to MCO we have like 7 of us. And then lockdown happens. I think back then we supply like 30 to 40 cafes. And then lockdown happened. And then, I remember it was a Friday night, 10 p.m. It was announced cafe cannot open. So my handphone from 10 to 11 keep ringing and all the messages coming out. Eddie, I need to cancel my order for tomorrow. Because usually Saturday is the most busy day. Because Saturday is where all the cafe want to stock up for the weekends. All the cakes got cancelled.
Oh. Yeah. Because you have to, I assume you have to bake in advance.
Correct. So basically, by Friday evening, everything is done. Just Saturday morning, we cut a cake and then we deliver it out.
Right. Yeah. Right. So how did you deal with that, mate?
Cannot sleep. And I think fortunately, one of our team, back then there's no concept of blind box. Now the La Pubu got a lot of blind box, right? Back then don't have. So one of my team suggested, because all the cakes are pre-sliced into slices. So she said, why not you do a random box set, which is blind box. You pay me $50, 4 slices of cakes. So for me, so my mindset is, I don't need to make much money. I just need to send out all the cakes. Otherwise, it becomes wastage. So, and we just post on social media in boom. It went quite crazy. So then every day we just do a blind box, random box, a box set. So Monday is this 2 flavor, Tuesday is this 2 flavor.
Right. So what was that experience like, shifting from B2B to B2C?
So back then we do B2C because I go to class then I tell, I teach auntie how to make cake. Hey auntie, I also got sell cakes one. Then I still got my blog spot. Right. Yeah, then but everything had to be manual from phone. So yeah, the time I do sell a few alcohol cakes. And I think wind back to the story, as a business, so when the artisanal cafe we start to supply more and more, everyone start to say that, hey, do you have something special? Then okay, finally alcohol cakes. Yeah, so that became more popular after that.
Right.
Yeah, so we were supplying a lot of crib cakes and alcohol cakes.
Right.
Yeah, then fast forward now to COVID, the experience was stress because I think the first week when we cleared out the first batch of box set of the blind box, there was no business for the next 2 weeks. Everyone don't know what's going on, so everyone's holding their money. Then after 2 weeks, open back, right, and then close back. Then MCO2 Yeah, so when MCO2 we did the same thing, but this time people are spending already. People are getting used to the COVID lockdown. So then the box set became our prominent item. Just that unfortunately we don't have an e-commerce system. Everything take manual. So it's kind of stupid, man. I think back, every day 80 orders, all manual. Wow, it's nightmare, man. So yeah. So 2 months of like nightmare, working like 13, 14 hours every day, coping with orders, taking all the orders manually, a lot of error, a lot of fighting. Then only realized, oh, we should take an e-commerce system. And then somebody like order one on the platform came over and give us this platform. Then it saved our life. Yeah.
I'm very curious because when you decided that you want to keep doing alcohol cakes, and I know you also sold non-alcohol cakes, but alcohol cake seems like quite a big portion of what you're doing. Doesn't it make you think, oh, hey, you're losing access to a big market? Because obviously, a lot of, Malaysia, there will be a lot of like Muslims, like they only can take halal cake, right?
Yeah. I think now I think back, right, from a more strategic point of view, I didn't know back then what I was doing. It was just all luck. I think from my strategic point of view was because I'm Chinese, I don't understand the Muslim market. So I don't understand their taste portfolio, but I understand what my parents or what I like, which is a lot of us, we don't like too sweet. So we make sure it's not too sweet. We don't like too creamy, we don't like too colorful also. So I think I understand my own market better, so I know how to serve this market better. So there wasn't things on my head like that's a trade-off. Yeah, it just never occurred to me.
Right. You're just making something that, let's say, you want to eat.
Correct. But again, so I think there's always a joke. If somebody sell like bak kwa and they can make a living, then I think I can make a living also. Yeah. But definitely the market is not as big.
Right. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. That's why we started another brand called Keto Cake. 3-year-old already. It started off because my grandparents are diabetic. And the keto cake out there tastes horrible. It tastes like it's like hospital food. It's so horrible, so bad. So I think because I believe as diabetic, you still want to enjoy life. You want to make sure the cake tastes 90% like salad. You can eat bland salad or a salad that tastes nice. So of course somebody want a salad that tastes nice. So we focus on a lot of R&D. We took 8 months of R&D, me and my head chef. And again, I go in, back then when we started Keto Cake also, it's a very niche market. Underserved market, but you don't know how big the market is. Back then, there's no keto-friendly recipe out there. All the online recipe is fake, it's wrong. The science doesn't make sense. So then I need to use my knowledge from encyclopedia. Back then, got no AI, so a lot of online research, understanding what makes a structure of the cake. If you don't want to, like for example, this is a bit technical. So if you make a sponge cake, right, it's just 4 ingredients: flour, sugar, egg, and liquid or oil or butter. So how it works, right, when you beat everything up very light, you bake in the oven, it's very light and creamy. But after the first like 20 minutes, the water will evaporate. Water evaporate, bubble expand. That's where you get the thing will rise. Once the bubble expand, if it doesn't dry up like a cement, it will collapse. So yeah, so knowing this from a scientific point of view, then we re-engineer how to make a keto-friendly cake with our flour.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you spent 8 months figuring.
Me and my chef, 8 months.
Right.
But it's something when I think any of us, when we were passionate, when we hook onto something, we will just deep dive, spend our time just researching R&D, and eventually we were lucky, it came out. But when Keto Cake came out again, it's a very niche market. We realized actually our target market wasn't keto people. It was our customer was like a diabetic patient. They show us their blood test, or it didn't spike up. It spiked up minimally. My mom get to eat cake again. We're like, oh damn, this is an interesting market.
Oh, yeah, interesting. Right. So you're not, as in like, you're not targeting those people who doing keto diet for like fitness reasons.
Correct.
Right? You're targeting the diabetic people.
Correct. And I think a lot of times as a business owner, we try to, we roughly know that this target market, but you never know until you do. Then you will somehow find this market that is underserved, then you go all in.
Right. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I'm just reflecting on how we started. So when we started last time, we were very focused on company culture. It means we help employers use their culture to attract talent, not just about salary or, whatever benefit and all that. And for job seekers, to also look for companies with the right culture. And then when I started this concept, I actually didn't even know who is the customer until we kind of put it out there. I instinctively thought I think people will like it, Malaysians will like it. Right. And then we caught the whole startup wave, the tech startup boom and all that. And then I started, and because a lot of these new young companies, their brand was not very well established yet. So in order to attract talent, they need something different. So a lot of them built this really nice workplace, that very unique kind of benefit environment that pulled in a lot of this young talent.
It was like the 12, 13 years ago, did the Google?
11 years. Yeah. So
Kind
the
of,
whole boom, like the Grab was still called My Taxi, Shopee, Zalora, all started booming, right? And they needed a different way to attract talent. So when we put the product to market, suddenly we actually our main customer base are a lot of technology startups. And interestingly, a lot of marketing agencies also like somehow love using our platform because a lot of the youth are so drawn to this. So on the other side, on the talent side, the youth were very drawn to
a more niche market, which is very underserved, I think.
Yes. And then suddenly, we are a youth-focused platform.
Then you realize, this is a very underserved market.
Yes. And sometimes you gotta put the thing out there, and then you start figure out which is your market.
Correct. But I think a lot of company couldn't make it until you find your pool of market.
Right. Oh, interesting. So that's how you got to like Keto Cakes and all that. So how do you split your time now between these? Or is it essentially one business?
So now we got 50% B2B, 40% B2B, 40% Cake Tella, 20% Keto Cake. Then on my side, I also do my social media content for my personal branding, where it's called Eddie.Yiming, Yiming. So I position myself like it's like the taiko of baker, like the baking taiko lah. The taiko in baking. So I target 2 customers for my personal content. Upsell a bit lah. Don't cut this off. So I teach people, basically I share experience, which is the best oven, what ingredients should you use when you start a business, what you should. But for example, we went to one of the biggest pop-up bakery fair for Keto Cake. We became the top 4 in sales out of 23 people. Guess what? We lost money. Yeah, so then I break down why did we lost money. So I think I created this because if 13 years ago, I got this Eddie to learn from, I can cover my journey less painful, or Chinese, we bang more, right? I don't need to bang more so much, so I can So other than that, so a lot of my time actually goes to, right now, I'm fortunate that my wife does the finance. I got team to run the operation, but marketing team, I handle myself. So social media ideas, me and my team will figure out. I run on the digital ads myself, like Meta ads. We spend about 30K on digital ads a month. Yeah, I run myself, but I'm starting to delegate on that. And then I do my personal content as well.
Right. And so you mentioned your wife helps you with this. Like,
yeah.
Right.
She's my boss. I work for her.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. She pays me salary. She's a CFO.
Oh, right. My wife doesn't work here, but I still feel I work for her.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
Just a joke. Cut it off.
No. So this entire time, so you're building this business and all that, and you went through COVID. Was there a moment where you really struggled and you felt that like maybe you cannot make it or what, like?
I think it was a COVID time. The COVID time was my first time giving me a realization that that time was my year 6 or 7, I can't remember. Now it's my year 14. That was a realization that, overnight, my business all my hard work can just be gone. Yeah, that was the thing that hit me very hard. So even when COVID business was very good, I had that fear. I don't want to lose my business, work my ass off. So, and it was very tough because COVID that time was when my first newborn was born, and I hardly spent time at home. I just work my ass off 6 days a week, 13 hours. On Sunday when I go home, my mind is already overburdened. I can't be present with my family. Yeah, so I think that was a very struggling moment between the identity of trying to be a father, a good husband, trying to take care of my business at the same time. I didn't really know how to draw the line between each of my different roles that I have to play. Yeah.
How do you eventually figure out?
So I think it was very lucky. I met a group of business friends from a business group called Owner Circus. Or now I also joined entrepreneurial organization under the accelerator program. So I think these are all the like older people who made it, who start to teach us how to run the business framework, how to run the meeting properly, how do you identify a proper talent, how do you manage your talent, what should you delegate out, all this. So then when I start hanging out with more business owner, so back then it was quite cool. MCO, we play basketball with all the entrepreneurs, all the younger entrepreneurs. Instead of playing golf, we play basketball. Yeah, then we hang out, then we learn from each other. Then I start to learn that, actually as a business owner, I should let go of certain roles, trust the team, set up a system, train them, groom them, and then let go. Because I think a lot of times we as business owners, we are the bottleneck.
Right.
Yeah.
You learn to delegate so you can kind of like
Because I think ego-wise, I always think I'm the best. And there's always a fear behind the ego, which is I scared that you mess it up. But in fact, there are so many people who can get high on doing, like for me, I hate operation. I have team who get high on running operation. I got team, I get high on doing content or doing creative or pitching projects, but I don't get high on seeing numbers, running operation. Yeah. So then definitely when somebody can get high or enjoy doing that, let them do, because they will be definitely better than us. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I think one issue sometimes being the founder, let's say like me, even with you, is because number one, you're here from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you are doing a bit of every department.
Right.
So of course you have some, advantage in that sense, like you have context of the old business, what's going on, and so someone coming into a new department trying to do things is always not going to be able to do it exactly like what you want to do. So I always thought that, if someone can do like 70-80%, that's amazing.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, then you can free up your time to do other things.
Definitely the first year they might not excel, but second, third year they will, if you allow them to excel, then
then eventually once they build up enough experience, they will be better than you.
I think one thing I'm very passionate about was, I think back then I was very passionate. And I think, so back to your question, the struggling moment, one was the identity, drawing the boundaries between business and family and so on. So then I started going to see therapists, right? I think there's a stigma to, especially male, I'm not sure about female, but male, there's a stigma towards male role models that it's something is wrong with you, that's why you have to see therapists. It's like your mental health, you need to go Tanjung Rambutan. But for me, how I see it that was my biggest blessing in disguise. Because by seeing a therapist, it's like going to a mental gym. Like you go for PT, right, to train your muscle, but no one teach you how to deal with your mind, how to deal with your anxiety, Where did your anxiety came from? It's actually a trauma from your childhood. So like for me, I realized a lot of my trauma come from my childhood. Like I can share this story publicly. I still remember I think 1999, there's this great recession, laid off. My dad got laid off. Then when my dad laid off, he became unhappy. So this is just a story I painted as a standard 2 or standard 4, I cannot remember. As a kid, I painted because there was a recession, my dad got laid off. Then there was one incident, he argued with my mom, maybe because of money. Then my mom asked me, if Papa Mummy divorce, who do you follow? Wow, as a kid, right, I cannot comprehend my family breaking down. I cannot comprehend with me, no parents, So then I built a mental model in my head. If I got no business, my family will collapse. So the reason why COVID, I worked my ass off, it was because of this fear. I worried my family cannot survive or it will break down. Because my mental model was, Papa no job, no money, basically means Papa Mummy divorce. That was my own formula. So back then, it was a very struggle because I couldn't spend time with my kid, but I also couldn't let go of my business. So after I deal with this, then, and the first time I see this, so I cry like crazy. Yeah, so then I think this is one of the, ever since then I always go for therapies. Every month, I will just go for therapies, talk my problem, talk my issue. Then, it's very good to have a mental support system.
Right.
Then I think the lighter I feel, then the easier for me to go about. Like for example, like recently or so, like I start shouting out for my my personal page. I got 60+ followers. I'm the Taiko of the bakery. So then I start shouting out for other bakeries or other business owners, because I think they did a good job. For example, Jeffrey Tan from Penang was awarded one of the most promising chef by one of the Lalis finalists, a few in the whole world. So there were 6 of them. And one of them was a Penang, Malaysia. Of course, we should support. So if back then I didn't deal with my demons, I would definitely won't promote his business. It's like, why am I promote? I so hard build my personal IP. Then why I want to promote you? And then you get everything, I don't get anything. Then there's another bakery, My Bake Bay in Sri Petaling. They went to Korea for a competition, sculpturing art. They do a lot of 3D for 9K. They got first place. They beat like Taiwan, Korea, Singapore. So it's a Malaysian. So I shout it out on behalf of them.
Right.
Yeah, but back then you asked me to do so, I would be so hesitant. It's like, Yeah.
Right, but what changed your views though? That why are you? I mean, there's an interesting question, like, because actually you don't get anything back.
I don't get anything back.
But why do you promote these are other Malaysian like cake operators?
Correct. I think if you ask me 100% comfortable, no. 80% comfortable, yes, but there's still 20% held back. But again, I put them in my own shoe. I think ultimately, if I don't have a fear, I don't have my ego, then I think ultimately these are people who deserve to be shout out. And if they don't have a platform, I am lucky to have the platform to help them shout out because people view me as the Thai god in the baking. So then I should shout out for them. And eventually, if they have family or they have team, the one that benefit the most is the people around them. And if they are truly talented, they are really good, people support them, it's just a stepping stone for them. But it will not work without their proper fundamentals. And I think ultimately who benefit the most is their team members. Yeah. And aside from their team members, which means the livelihood of the team members, they can spread out the wealth for the increment and everything. Yeah. And other than that, also, as Malaysian, we should be proud. Malaysian, I mean, we Malaysian are Malaysian. We are all one, right? So if there's someone who did a good job, we then should shout out. And I get very frustrated when mainstream media don't shout out for them. So I'll be the one shouting out for them. Yeah, even Malaysia 2019 won first place in the world champion. The whole world is like the pastry Olympic, but there was not much news. I was like, I'm so yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, and then I think a few years ago they got third place or something, which is cool. Third place is already soaking. It's a pastry, or Olympic or pastry, but no one shout. So I started shouting out for them. Yeah.
Oh wow! I mean, so it's a proud moment for a lot of Malaysians.
Yeah,
like
but we
never
don't know. Yeah, it's so frustrating. We don't know, and I think like you want to bring it up to you. I think the Malaysia tourism should do something right? You go Penang, aside from Chao Kway Teow, go eat at pastry shop Yeah.
Right. What are the challenges? I mean, speaking of this, like what are some challenges of building like a cake or like pastry kind of business in Malaysia? Anything unique to Malaysia, like?
I think maybe one thing unique about Malaysia is we have a lot of hawker food. Challenging. I don't know, but let's say for myself, the challenging part would be, I think Malaysia, we are spoiled for choices. The amount of cafes or cafe restaurant is just so crazy. Like, just transparent. My net profit 10 years ago and now is almost half. The F&B net profit have shrunk by 50% unless you're the top. So then, because of too much competition, which is beneficial for the consumer but not beneficial for a business owner. So I think that's a recent shift. Main challenges, I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Right.
Maybe you can ask me, then I can...
Sure. But it sounds like it's extremely competitive now.
It's extremely competitive. Then I think it generally applies to all artisanal kind of thing, like art kind of thing, like a more creative work, like a painting or whatever. I think we are all born as artists first. So you need to be a very good artist to come up with really good product. Then eventually you need to know how to do customer service, know how to do sales, then do marketing. And then when your company grow big, then you need to start how to manage people. That was my whole journey. But it's not easy for a lot of artists to grow out from the artist hat.
Right.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, if there's more people, like I always try to advocate this, if there's, like the moment it changed for me was when I hang out with other business owners, like Pop Glasses, a few of them, they are like business owners. I'm like an artist. So when I start hanging out more with them, then I start to realize, I should be like that. Right. If I don't need to be 100%, but I should be taking care of the business aspect of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you mentioned just now, obviously, you do a lot of shout out for other Malaysian businesses and all that because you have a platform. But platform as in, obviously, you build a personal brand online on social media. I'm sure you invested a lot of time in it. I checked, Cake Tella itself has 77,000 followers, and you have over 60,000 you personally, right? So how much time do you dedicate to this?
I think a lot of my time, because I enjoy doing content. Especially Cake Tella content is very fun. It's alcohol, it's playful. So the brand persona is basically a monkey who's very naughty, right, which is me, right? So then we get to play a lot of funny things. So the content comes more naturally because it's me. So a lot of my time actually we spend on doing content. Yeah. But else my personal one, it took me a while. So like if you want to build a personal IP, my experience was I did 3 years. The first 1.5 year was me trying to figure out who I am. So I started a lot of cooking and baking recipe. Then I realized this niche is already filled. You can't provide value by doing this because a lot of other people, although they're not a baker, they're not a chef, but they already fit in this market. So then I realized the underserved market is basically how to run a bakery. What flour why you should use this flour, why you should use that butter from a more technical aspect. Right? Unsalted butter and salted butter. New Zealand and European dairy, what's the difference?
Right.
Yeah, so I realized these are the less served market. So I stopped doing recipes. Then I start doing more to bakery shop. I go to a bakery shop. I think recipe 1 hour, max I can do 1 recipe and it's so tiring, so much mess. Ingredient shop, I think 1 hour I can shoot 10 content.
Oh.
And everything comes out naturally because it's common sense to me. I mean, I buy so many ingredients from ingredient shop.
Right.
Yeah.
How to run the bakery.
Yeah, like
The
basically,
general concept is the content directions.
yeah, it's like a bakery tiger. These are all my knowledge. So I will cover how to run a bakery and everything else. But I also will cover more mass market, like New Zealand and European cream. What's the difference? 40% cream and 37% cream. So these are more mass market.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. So even like someone who's not running a bakery but they are like baking enthusiasts, then it was
Correct. Because if you go too niche as a personal branding, then there's no volume. So you need to balance out niche and white. You need to do both at the same time.
Oh, that's
Yeah, because if I don't capture the white, so if straightforward, the main reason the main reason I do personal IP also is I need to make money, right? Otherwise, there's no return on investment. So then, if I target all bakery owner, why would they want to buy my cakes? They can bake themselves. So I want to target white, no? Yeah. So the white people are the one who eventually buy my cakes.
Right. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Right. And then which one is more painful, building a personal brand online or actually running a bakery?
I really know. I think it's very similar. Doing personal IP content and running a business is the same thing. So I hang out. I'm very lucky to be part of a creators club. It's basically a group of influencers. They build like a community for influencers, creators. So then when I start hanging out with them, right, then I realized they are really good in marketing branding strategy. Right? So if you hire them as your marketer or brand strategist, they will excel very well because they understand their target market very well. They understand their behavior, what are their pain points and everything. Just that they don't apply it to business. They apply it to their content.
Right.
Yeah. So I think both is actually the same thing, same concept. Like for example, you need to understand the underserved market, right? Like for you, right? It's more tech company, more all these young people, right? So I think a lot of times maybe bigger job platform don't really want to. I assume bigger job platform or the older one don't want to target them because they are upcoming market. The fee is not as high. They don't know how to talk to them. They only know how to talk to the more mature professional people. So then somehow you manage to find a gap and then you fill that gap. Yeah. So content creator is exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, you almost perfectly captured how that market was underserved for us. So you're right. Because there were a lot of people who, because you make more money from placing a senior person.
Yeah.
So a lot of young people don't get a lot of help.
Yeah. But then eventually these people become the senior.
That's right. Right. Yeah.
So I learned a lot of this target market. Back then, right, to be honest, I even told a lot of content creators. Back then, I looked down on them. They're just influencers, they don't know. But when you get to know them, right, they are just so into their craft. They are like so inner. Like, okay, I watched my 10-second clips, right? Where did everyone fall out? They will do so many A/B testing, especially YouTube, where there's so many data you can harvest. Right. Wow, they are just so inner and so into their own craft. So I think one skill set I developed was always the hunger to learn from other people because everyone has something to teach you.
Right.
Even I won't say this too much. Like for example, I got friends who are divorced, way more older than me. I hang out with them, but they gave me a lot of good marriage advice. Yeah, happy wife, happy life. No, just kidding. No, I mean, so I'm just sharing about there's always something you can learn from someone.
Right. Oh, interesting. So it's what Creators Club. All right. So you have a community of people that you also learn from and support you.
Correct. Yeah.
Doing content and all that.
You can always reach out to them. Like the famous one will be Hungry Sam, Daniel Dai, Moses, Ming Chun, Ayang Gempot. I mean, the founders is Joey, Yifeng, and Michelle. They are quite well-known influencers also in their target market.
Right.
Yeah. So it's very nice to just, you can text them, hey bro, can you help me? Can you advise me? But again, it's always, I think we always have, I think in every relationship, it's always about trying to serve. So when you take too much, also people won't really want to lie on you. I'm sure you understand.
Yes, of course. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
right. So what you're saying is building content online or building a personal brand online is almost like running a business.
Correct. So even as content creator, when they start becoming big, right, they face this issue is I used to edit my own video. So how do I ask my team to edit videos? Right? How do I get my team to film for me? So they had to strategize, how can I get my team to do the copywriting, how to post for me. So eventually they will become a media house.
Right.
Yeah. So then they do struggle like business owner like us. They face the same issue on managing people, setting up system, SOP. Yeah. Like when they start bigger, so then they need to know which client to reject, which client to take,
So in some sense, you have a bakery business, but you're also in the social media scene, like quote like an influencer like that.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think of the influencer market in Malaysia in general?
Well, like, can you give some specific context? Like,
Oh, I mean,
general,
that's a very good question. What do I mean by that, right? So I think maybe I ask this question. Do you think there is more space for new influencers? Or do you think it's also peaking already?
I think it's the same as business. There's always the underserved market that's uprising that most of us maybe we didn't know. So when any of the creator managed to fit into that portfolio, and it makes sense. So a good example was Ming. Ming always do a lot of food review, mainly ayam gepok. Yeah. So what happened to him was he brought ayam gepok to the Chinese market. Right. And that became a unfilled market because all of us, we never tried ayam gepok before. Right. I think it's an Indonesian, more Malay kind of food, right? So we Chinese never tried before. So he is it Chinese fried? Yeah, he make it into a Chinese version.
Right.
So that's suit for a Chinese market, and then it became viral,
Right.
Yeah, so there was an underserved market.
Right.
So now he's known as I think now he's renovating his shop right now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think there's an underserved market every time. There's always an opportunity. Just that the question, I think the one thing I learned is, like we were mentioned, don't become someone else. When I started out, so I don't understand. I copy. So when I started out, I would be like, okay, this guy do baking, this guy do cooking. I can do way better. I'm professionally trained. But no, I cannot do. Why? Because the segment is already served. Or there's already people teaching how to make carbonara, how to make cake. So I go in, I don't provide value.
Right.
But if I go in to tell the guy, hey, this butter is the best for sponge cake, this cream is the best for carbonara or or eggs, so on, then it makes sense, right? So what happens is it's a complementary. They are the one who teach you the recipe. I teach you the ingredient. Right. So then there's an underserved market because for them, they are not professional. Or put it, not professional means they don't buy as much stock as me. Like we use 1.5 ton cream every month. So then my usage is so high that it's naturally I know the product specs very well. Yeah. So then I can explain. So I can provide value. I hope that answer.
Yeah. And also I think sometimes people like in the online world, it's typically something like, I mean, I'm slightly exaggerated, but it's like a one winner game.
Yeah.
So once you are the champion of a particular topic or kind of
Correct.
content, people don't need a number 2, number 3.
Right.
So if you want to enter and it doesn't matter whether this person is in America, Europe, or Malaysia, because on the internet everything is accessible. You just type and then you can find it already. So people have to kind of pick that particular space where there's no winner yet.
Correct. Yeah.
And try to win there.
Correct. But none of us know the space was there. We just lucky we stumble. I mean, we try our best. We think like you also. Then suddenly you stumble upon, then you just ride the momentum.
That's
when
right,
the timing is right.
Yeah,
I think influencer is the same thing also.
Right.
Yeah, it's same thing as business. So you just ride the storm when on the way up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I think the challenge is, can you recreate it? Can you recreate if you can recreate multiple page and all go viral, definitely that's a skill that's replicatable. Right? It means it's something that can be passed on. But if you can't replicate it, then it's not a skill set that can be taught. That's what I personally think.
And do you think this being a social media personality is a replicable skill?
I don't know, but let's say, okay, we take Team Tia.
Sure.
We take Grumpy Baker. You can't replicate them because they have their own unique, like unique selling point or they have their unique DNA. Their personality is like that. Right? Like Tim Tia, I think you personally know him. He's a very smart guy. Thinks a lot, very strategized guy. So it makes a lot of sense for him to do all these very deep thinking kind of thoughts, right? And he can pump volume, right? I think he do 3 to 4 content a day. Then Zhizin, Claire from Grumpy Bagel, you can't replicate that formula, right? No, I mean my personal thought from someone from F&B, no other cafe or bakery managed to make a lot of money or survive by selling bagel as a main product. Nobody, only them. So it's not replicatable. So don't, because you see someone succeed, you go replicate. But I think when we all started, we are like that. We don't know. We see what works, then we copy. Then halfway through, we realize there's no market. Then only we start moving sideways.
Right. Okay. And now I'm kind of like imagining from a young Malaysian point of view, right? So they hear all these stories, they heard your story about how you turned down a very good paying job, like potentially in Singapore. Your voice asks you not to do it. And so they also have a hunch that they want to start something of their own, let's say. But they are also considering taking a job. Let's say. How would you advise them to make this decision? I mean, not necessarily just asking them to just do their business, but what's the sane way, to make this decision?
So I think we take Grumpy Bagel. So I think you work your ass off. Work hard, take 2 jobs. Like Grumpy Bagel, if you know them, their background, Claire, right? She was an air stewardess. And when she was an air stewardess, she already made cakes from her, I'm not sure, apartment. And I think during COVID, she couldn't fly, she was making cakes. Then after that, I'm not sure what exactly happened, but a lot of people don't know about this story. A lot of people just saw her, then she do a few pop-up. The pop-up wasn't successful. And then, I don't know, I can say this. Yeah, but she didn't have money to open a cafe. So she got a few investors. Then she opened up and her renovation series went viral. Yeah. So then, so basically what happened to her was she was working multiple jobs. I mean, she was working her full-time job and baking on the side. So what I'm trying to say is, a lot of times build up your fundamental first. And when your fundamental is strong enough, fundamentals can be your skill, can be your money. Your money will be your capital. The more capital you have is basically your oxygen. The longer you can play this game. So then, like it or not, if you're lucky, you got your parents' asset or to leverage on, make use of it. Be proud. Be proud. Don't be shy that your parents got money. You make use of it. It doesn't make you less than something. It's still a good move. Because even like we have a lot of business friends, your parents got money doesn't mean you make it. Right. But those people that make it with their parents' money and they have the right attitude, these people go really, 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 really far. Yeah. So again, so put your ass off, build. And again, if I get to turn back time, I think my whole business model was very clearly, if you can draw the formula, it was I work in a bakery that serves customer. I work in a central kitchen that does a lot of crepe cake. Then the bakery also, I work in a bakery that sells alcohol cake and I do a lot of customer service. I do a lot of crepe cake for this crepe cake company. Then I work in the central kitchen. So basically what I started my business is I'm basically doing these 3 things. I'm making high volume central kitchen production, selling crepe cakes to cafes using my skills or dealing with customers. So I started out with 3 knowledge I have and I expand from there. Yeah. Then now when I started online, I need to learn how to do more about marketing, branding, which I didn't have experience. So I start learning from friends to pick up those skills. But if I got a 6 months experience, 6 or 1 year experience of marketing and branding, I think I will be able to put that and scale even faster.
Right. So if someone was to have the choice of trying to do I do a job or do a business, are you saying if you can try to do both, is it?
Do both at the same time, or don't give reason. I got no time, or you got no time. I'm sure you have time. You just need to put your priorities right, and what's important to you. But again, not everyone is lucky. Like I'm lucky. My parents supported me, giving me a house. I mean, letting me use the place and so on. I don't have any I don't have to pay for their tab. I don't need to take care of them. Yeah, so I was quite lucky that I have that support.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think there are some cases where, of course, I don't speak for everyone. There are people who are genuinely so stretched, there are multiple jobs.
Correct. Yeah.
Money, of course, correct. That's that. Then so where's my time from?
Correct, yeah.
But I think there's a huge amount of people who actually have time.
Correct.
But they are just using their time to do things that
correct,
are not as productive. And they say they have no time. Actually, they can figure out how to create.
Correct.
Right.
And if there's one thing, if let's say, I think a lot of us will ask, I think maybe I can ask you one question. If you get to turn back like 20 years ago, right, how would you want to change your childhood?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, never asked me this question. Like, how will I ever change my childhood? Not sure. Someone asked me about what I would change about the company 10 years ago. No, I'm not a very past oriented person. That's my issue. I don't think about the past a lot. How would you change your childhood?
For me, if there's one thing I can change my childhood was I hope I was raised in a family that's way more poorer.
Oh,
Yeah. Because I never feel the pain of not having money. I never feel. Then I'm sure you can see a lot of successful entrepreneurs. They came from like Oriental Copy, Dr. Kelvin, right? He's so you heard of his story? He was so poor, he stayed in the kampong. The dad got motorbike. Only motorbike. So he got 3 brothers. Motorbike can only fit 1 person, right? So every time weekend they want to go to the city to go shopping, the father had to zigzag, fetch every month 1 time. So poor, but because they were raised in such a poor condition, their hunger level is just so different. Like, to be honest, I'm more complacent because I'm not as hungry as these people, right? So if you ask me, I get to turn back time, I wouldn't mind growing in such a way. Although I know it sucks, but it will build such a different character, or
that's interesting.
the DNA will be so different,
Right. As in, like, put a bigger challenge to train your character or mindset.
Correct. Like, I think like you talk about those people that those rich businessmen or people that owns a lot of property. This like the first gen business owner. They all started from nothing and they struggle and they work so hard. Those people, their mindset and our mindset is so different. I mean, they will call us strawberry generation, right? But we always call the next generation. So I think every generation is, I mean, unless you're going through a hard time in the economy, I think there's a saying, right? Hard time make strong men. Strong men make good time makes weak men make bad times, and bad times make strong men. So it's always this
cycle, right?
Yeah. So if you ask me, if I would like to experience that, but I know I'm quite scared. It sucks.
I understand what you're saying logically. I'm not sure I want my life to be worse, to be honest.
I mean, no one wants to, but it will build so different character. Yeah.
Right.
In fact, when I hire my team, I will always try to go for people who are way more less fortunate, because these people don't have much choice. I mean, they have lesser choice. They have to struggle. They have to fight more. Just that they weren't given a good platform to shine. So for me, one of the things that I really enjoy doing now is coaching grooming. So as I do in my trauma, I study a lot of psychology. So I love Tony Robbins.
Right.
I learn about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Basically, it's how do you understand someone's mind.
Right.
How do you mind them? No, just kidding. How do you understand and motivate them? A simple term or more narcissistic way is like them. So I like to understand and put them to succeed. Because I believe everyone has their own talent. It's just that probably they were given in the wrong seat, or probably in a company, their core value just doesn't align with us. So probably if they might go to another company, they might shine. Or maybe like basically one of my chefs also, as a senior, she's horrible. She's horrible. Now she's like one of the very famous high rocks or CrossFit trainers. Yeah, so she jumped industry. So good for her. You suck at baking, you're not passionate at baking, then go to this. And now she became popular. Yeah.
Right. And this is on the topic of, like, I guess there's a different people have different strengths, and different things for them and all that, right?
Yeah. Doesn't mean if you're not good in this company, you suck, man. Just but again, if you suck in any company, maybe something's wrong with you, to be honest. But if you suck in a few company, you just need to find the right company, the right culture.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I got 2 last questions for you. First one is, do you see yourself more as a bakery business person or more like an online personality?
I think business is still business. You still have to. So I think this is such a hard question. This is asking someone, right? You have a full-time job and you have a hobby. Which one you want to do, right? So you ask, for me, is I think I play both. A business is still a business. My team livelihood relies on that. Everything do also, you must make money also. But I always try to balance. Like next month we are having a project. We are having a pop-up in a cafe, because we only are online. So we have a pop-up in one of the cafe for 1 month, where we get to feel the passionate side of us, the artist side, which means we will make like a super ring cheesecake. it can sell or not, I don't care, but I know it tastes good and it's a fun project. Salted caramel chocolate cake with potato chips. Banana leaf ice cream. So like pandan ice cream, but instead of using pandan juice, we use banana juice. So this is a side project for me and my team or creative team just to feed our soul. Yeah, because I'm sorry, business is you, as much as you want to do the things you really want to do, you should always focus 80% or 90% on what people want. Then the 10% you do all this side project just to feed the soul. Yeah. So this project we're quite excited. Yeah.
Okay. And this kind of leads nicely to my last question. So actually in the long, well, maybe don't say long term, medium term, long term wise, where do you see, what direction are you taking the business, your personal brand and all?
My business, I'm not sure, but I think what I identify myself, I think all of us as business owner, or we grow old, that's a fact, but we mature, age like fine wine. I think all of us, we start to discover different, as we grow older, we discover different part of ourselves. Certain part, for example, become less important, certain part become more important. So like for me, I used to think that I'm the best R&D guy until my chef, I realized she's even better. So then, okay, delegate her, empower her. Then operation, let her do. I got one girl, she's a funny story if you have the time. This is a very funny story. When I said wrong feed, right? I got this customer service. She used to be a chef. And because one day her chef said that you suck at this, you will never have a future. So then on the same day, she applied for customer service. Less than 2 hours, I call her for an interview. And then she like, what? Who is this crazy guy? Less than 2 hours, call me out. Then okay, then come and interview. Okay, let's try customer service. So when she came with customer service, well, she's damn good in ops. When her manager resigned, she became a supervisor. And then based on her personality, I know she's damn good in doing AI or computer stuff. So when recently Claude came out half a year ago or 4 months ago, I tell her, you will be damn good in AI, like freaking good. She started and it proven right. Even I bring her for AI class, she's like very advanced. Right. So I'm sharing this story because what I'm saying that I started to realize one of my passion or one of the things I really enjoy is I see myself grooming talents. And those talents, they shine. I think that's very rewarding. So I think if you ask me, my business is basically a platform to allow all these talents to shine and be the best at themselves. And when they shine, the company shine. And then they can take care and we can build a stronger culture.
Right. We just say, so in some sense, we just say, I mean, the business is of course, everyone needs to make money and all that and make a living. So the business is a very practical way to make a living. But if I'm kind of reading you correctly, I find that you have a kind of like a teacher-ish kind of personality.
The coach,
Right, you have that kind of personality. Actually, what you really, really enjoy is to teach, coach, share knowledge.
Correct. Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah. Right. And so as a long term, of course, you want the business to keep thriving and to build the basics, but what you really want to do is like help people grow, share.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. So basically, I think it comes from my mother's love. For my mother also go for baking class, learn how to bake. So it comes back. For me, I really enjoy teaching like even the next gen how to run bakery business and so on. It's very fulfilling. Yeah, but ultimately, I think as a business, it makes a lot of sense. I'm lucky to be at a point where I don't need to get my hands dirty, but it's more important to groom all this talent to really excel in what they're really, really good at. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, that's a nice way to wrap up.
And I hope where we go to, it really relies on them more. It's no longer about me, it's about them already.
So one day you hope that obviously the business can grow, even if you are like not there all the time.
Correct. And grow, then it will be part of them. Like if they want to be partners or, if I think for me, it's I'm a very simple guy. I drive a Honda City, old Honda City until now. But I spend a lot of food and self-improvement. But I think what brings me more joy, of course I need money, but what brings me a lot of fulfillment was seeing someone build confidence in themselves. Like this girl. Well, now at first she don't believe she's very good in AI. So I started to bring her into AI classes. Then she realized, actually I'm quite good at whatever people teach, I'm quite fun forward. Then I say, see, 你很厉害的，你知道吗? So give them confidence. Then eventually if they can outgrow their career, and even I can't afford, if my company is not growing, then just go out, get a better paying job, because people can pay you, my company can pay you, then I'm sorry. But before you go out, train the next one for me. you know. So ultimately, when I can build a brighter future for other people, that brings me a lot of joy and fulfillment, knowing that I made an impact. Yeah, and when I make an impact, they might want to continue this cult, this belief or DNA of trying to help someone to grow and empower them, and hopefully this can be passed on. Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
Great. No. Thank you, Eddie, for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Also,
Please buy my cake and support my kids. I got 2 kids. Their future education relies on you.
Thank you. Thanks, Eddie. Thank you very much. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to the end of the episode. If you like this, follow us or hit the subscribe button. It will help us bring on more amazing guests and makes the whole show better for you. So thanks again and see you in the next one.